Lowcountry State Senator Tom Davis is joining us. Yeah, we're not going to talk about the election so much. He's very busy with that, but he's also, because of that, very busy talking to those of us here in the Lowcountry who have concerns about all sorts of different things. One of them that may not get a lot of publicity, a lot of traffic on social media and whatever, but that you're working on is energy for the Lowcountry and for South Carolina. Let's talk about that, Senator.
Yeah, the South Carolina Senate put me in charge of a committee to do a deep dive into how we generate, transmit, and distribute electrical power in South Carolina. And not a lot of people realize this, but our demand is now outstripping our supply. We've had so many residents that have moved to this area. Large commercial developers, corporations, businesses want to come here. And so we're really behind the curve in terms of generation on the grid. And so I've been digging into the failed reactor in VC Summer, those two nuclear reactors in VC Summer that in 2017, after $9 billion was spent, Dominion, or used to be SC&G, now Dominion, and Santee Cooper walked away. But what we're finding is that some of these large energy users like Google or Meta or Microsoft, they are increasingly willing to spend their own private capital and to use their own expertise in satisfying their power demands. And so I've been working on a deal whereby these large energy users can stand up and complete those reactors at VC Summer. Now, people don't realize that VC Summer 2, that's about 50% complete. VC Summer 3 is about 40% complete. It's all in good condition out there. There are tax credits available to finance 30% of the construction. You have these big power users like Google want to use the private money to finish it. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, one, it's going to provide more power to our grid. Mm-hmm. Two, it's going to not have the cost of new generation spread among ratepayers. You let the large users pay for the energy that they need. And three, it really sets South Carolina up to be a place where clean industries can come in that want clean power. And so I'm really excited about this. This is something I've been working on for several years, and I think it holds tremendous potential for South Carolinians.
You know, you have become kind of the master plumber of the state legislature. Last year, I remember we talked quite a bit about how you had kind of been put in charge of bringing the DHEC conglomeration together and then separating it into the right things and reorganizing all of that. And now with power, how long a process would this be with power to get these plants back into the construction mode and to get things moving? What's the timetable?
Well, it answered this way. There are three levels here. You have immediate power needs, intermediate power needs, and long-term. Okay, so we have to address all three things.
Right.
To bring more power onto the grid in a relatively short term, you're talking about solar. I mean, solar we can stand up and put onto the grid relatively quickly. Intermediate term, we're looking at a natural gas plant, a combined cycle natural gas plant that Santee Cooper and Dominion want to build. That will be brought online in 6 to 7 years to meet our intermediate needs. And then these longer term needs in terms of standing up VC Summer 2 and 3 with the private capital from Google and Meta and Microsoft, and also looking into small modular reactors, which is the next generation of nuclear. That's a 10 to 12 year perspective in terms of generation. So by doing all three, we can both address immediate power needs and we can set the table for really good, clean economic growth in the future as well.
All right, we've got about a minute. We're coming to the end of the year. Does that mean anything budget-wise with regards to roads in the Lowcountry? Are we still having to scramble for some money before the end of the calendar year, or is that more of a fiscal year thing?
It's more of a year-round thing for me. Our road needs right now. We need to improve 278 and 170, obviously. Sure. We need to improve Argent Boulevard, which is a death trap. Anybody traveling that will tell you. 70 miles an hour on a 2-lane road with no shoulders is a recipe for disaster. We've already gotten funded the first leg of I-95 widening, the 3 lanes in each direction from the South Carolina-Georgia line to exit 8. Now working on getting funding for making similar improvements to exit 8 to Walterboro. So the delegation is working very hard to make sure that an equal amount of DOT and state infrastructure bank dollars come back into our part of the Lowcountry. And I look forward to a very successful year doing that.
All right. State Senator Tom Davis, we appreciate your time. As always, we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, sir. I appreciate it.
We'll be back with more right after this on the WHHI Daily News.